Man, after an incredibly long off season, we are now 3 days into the 2025-2026 NBA season, and man, I could not be more excited about what I've witnessed. Hopefully, what you've witnessed is somewhere along the same lines. Man, listen, last night's game, the first Thursday of this season, man, it included Shaq, Chuck, Kenny, Ernie, and it was chef's kiss in terms of the competition. In this episode, I'm going to dig into the happenings of Thursday night basketball and a little bit more. Let's talk about it.
Yo, what's good, everybody? My name is Cosmic, and I want to welcome you to my channel, Opinion Stated, where I give unfiltered, opinionated sports takes. Let's go.
Yo, what's good, everybody? My name is Cosmic. I want to welcome you back to my channel, Opinion Stated. Man, I do have a very good episode planned for you today. In recap fashion, I'm simply going to talk about the Thursday night NBA games. Man, we had two incredible matchups: Indiana's season opener and also the defending champion Oklahoma City Thunder once again on national television. Man, that game was a decent game. Another thriller that for the second time this season, opening night on Tuesday and then on Thursday, man, we got a double overtime game thanks to Oklahoma City. Almost seems like they did that on purpose. I'll talk about that in a little bit. And we also got a chance to see Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors take on Jokic and the Denver Nuggets in their season opener. And so, man, it was just two really, really good games to watch, especially the second game. I'm going to dig into that. But before I dive deeply into this content, do me a huge favor. Like the video. Also, liking the video, of course, helps us cruise along algorithm avenue, helps us get into the presence of individuals just like yourself who might be interested in this kind of content. And subscribe to the channel as well. Clicking the notification bell helps you to be notified as to when my newest episodes are uploaded. And man, without further ado, I am diving deeply into this episode. I'm entitling it, Steph and Shea Dominate NBA Third Day. And so, man, again, I'm going to dive deep into this content, do a bit of a recap of the games last night. I have some articles from the Associated Press, which just kind of recap, some of the happenings. In case I forget, I'll add in other little tidbits that I wanted to harp on along the way, and then we will get out of here. So let me run down for you, first of all, the four-part game plan. This is my version of this new age NBA spread offense, which when I played basketball, it was simply four corners is what we called it. You know what I'm saying? With the big man, our center, just kind of roaming. Sometimes I played that center position. So I just kind of roamed side to side. You know what I mean? Like trying to find leverage in the post to get an easy entry, some backdoor cut, something like that easy. But anyway, four corners or the four-part game plan. Portion one, we're going to talk Oklahoma City versus Indiana in the recap. Then we're going to talk the Denver versus Golden State game. And portion three, we're going to talk NBA news. And then closing out the fourth part of the game plan, we're going to talk, I'll just give a last word. And like I said, man, then I'll get out of your hair. Moving right into portion one of the game plan. Let's talk about this Oklahoma City and Indiana game. I have an article from the Associated Press, which kind of wraps things up, buttons them up pretty nicely for you. And that article, again, was published immediately following the game. And it was entitled, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander scores career high 55 to lead Thunder past Pacers 141 to 135 in two OTs. Indianapolis. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander scored a career high 55 points to the Oklahoma City Thunder, won their second straight double overtime game to begin the season, beating the Indiana Pacers 141 to 135 on Thursday night in a rematch of last season's NBA Finals. The reigning MVP reached 50 for the fifth time, tying Russell Westbrook for the most by a Thunder player. A.J. Mitchell added a career-best 26 points for Oklahoma City, which outlasted Houston on Tuesday in its season opener. I also believe it was mentioned that No team in NBA history has ever opened the first two games of the year with a double overtime. You know what I mean? So not one single team, but Oklahoma City certainly has done that and also pulled off a victory in both as well. More of this article. Gilgeous-Alexander fueled the decisive flurry to open the second overtime. The officials also granted a late timeout to Oklahoma City when it appeared Obi Toppin had stolen the inbound pass underneath the Thunder basket. And man, that was fucking bullshit. If you guys could have saw me here watching the game, I was like, bro, that timeout was, beyond late. It was beyond egregious and reckless of the refs to award that timeout after the ball had been inbounded. Once the ball is inbounded, bro, that's it. Commentators, I believe it was Richard Jefferson, was just like,
yeah, but there's a bit of a lapse between the time that the referee sees the coach trying to make the timeout and then when a timeout is called.
And I'm like, fucking bullshit. That's why they give the refs a fucking whistle, because the whistle is fast. The whistle is supposed to be fast. Beep. As soon as you see some shit, beep, blow, stop play immediately. That's the purpose of the fucking whistle. You know what I'm saying? And so if the whistle wasn't blown, but that ball was inbounded, man, the refs gotta swallow that whistle. It is what it is.
Sorry, coach. Man, couldn't get the fumble with the whistle trying to get it up to my lips, and I couldn't, bro. My bad.
Ball was inbounded. The ball was inbounded, bro. Ball was inbounded. So that was a bit reckless. That was a bit ridiculous. Again, I was sitting here, man, like just, man, I literally, I was like, like sort this through, bro. And I was shocked. I was shocked. I was like, bro, there is no way that they are not going to overturn this. And they didn't. They let it stand. It was crazy. Gilgeous-Alexander was 15 of 31 from the floor and 23 of 26 from the free throw line while adding 8 rebounds and 8 assists. Aaron Wiggins finished with 23 points and 9 rebounds. Isaiah Hartenstein grabbed 14 rebounds, 26 free throws in the game. Holy shit. Benedict Mathurin had 36 points and 11 rebounds for the Pacers before fouling out in the first overtime. Pascal Siakam had 32 points and 15 rebounds for Indiana, which is without two-time All-Star guard Tyrese Halliburton and backup point guard T.J. McConnell. Then lost guard Andrew Nembhard with a sore left shoulder in the first half. More of the article. Yet the Pacers still had enough scoring punch to stay close. Neither team led by more than 7 points in a game marred by 70 fouls called on the players and a technical foul called on Indiana coach Rick Carlisle. Man, Rick Carlisle almost got tossed. He almost got his second technical with that bullshit inbound. But I digress. The Pacers hung their Eastern Conference Championship banner before Gainbridge Fieldhouse opened, and the Pacers honored the matriarch of the franchise, the late Nancy Leonard, before the national anthem was played. Leonard helped save the team with a telethon in 1977. She died in September at age 93. Rest in peace to Nancy Leonard. Up next, Thunder heads to Atlanta on Saturday, and the Pacers begin a 3-game road trip at Memphis on Saturday. Again, this article was published immediately after the game by the Associated Press. I'm going to dig into the box score here just a little bit. I've heard it said a lot. I've heard it said a lot from fans of the game. You know what I mean? They'll like criticize LeBron James. I mean, there should be, I guess, some criticism for looking at this at the box score like during the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand that, but every baller who's played under the whistle, right, played organized, has taken a look at the box score at the end of the game. You know, unless you're just keeping stats like a statistician for yourself in your head of everything that you have. You know what I mean? Like, I know I can be touched by being like, yo, look, you know what I mean? Like, what I finished with, the points I would keep track of. I'd know when I had 18 in a game. You know what I'm saying? Like, I grew up playing, you know what I mean? I mean, so much one-on-one basketball, so I understood, you know what I mean? Like, the point count in my head of what I have. So I would do that. But the rebounds, assists, like things of that nature might get away from me. So I would want to take a look at the fullness of the stats by the end of the game. So anyway, that has nothing to do with these box scores. Let's take a look at the box score. Pascal Siakam, as mentioned in that Associated Press article, had 32 points in the game, 15 rebounds, 4 assists. On 3 of 6 shooting from 3, 12 of 25 shooting from the field overall in 44 minutes, man. So Pascal Siakam was out there doing Pascal Siakam type things. And I wasn't expecting Pascal not to have a decent year. Obviously, man, they're really going to miss Tyrese Halliburton. I was thinking they'd actually look worse without Tyrese Halliburton than they actually did look. So shout out to Tyrese Halliburton. Shout out to Andrew Nemhart. Shout out to Aaron Neesmith and, you know, Ben Mathurin, obviously. You know what I mean? Shout out to Ben, man. Even from his years out here in Arizona, you know what I mean? I can remember taking a liking to the kid and just like kind of watching him. So it's really good to see him shine on the NBA pro level. But yeah, speaking of Ben Mathurin, in 45 minutes in the game, he'd shoot 9 of 19 from the field overall, 3 of 8 from 3, 36 points, 11 rebounds, 1 assist. Man, Ben's a bucket. You know what I'm saying? Like I love Ben's aggression, I'll say. You know what I mean? Like I just love how aggressive he is on offense. He doesn't always make the right decision. You know what I mean? But he's consistent in his aggression, which, you know, certainly I can be happy about that. For the most part, I feel like during the playoffs, we lost him a bit in the Cleveland series. I don't know why. Like after his confrontation with Donovan Mitchell, I believe it was last year, so then he just like faded to black. It was weird. I was wondering what happened to him. But when he's on his game, man, he's on his game, and he was on his game last night. 36 points in the game for him, as I said. So Obi Toppin off the bench. You know what I mean? Came in to put in work also. And this has just become indicative of what Obi does. In 40 minutes, he shoot 8 of 18 from the field, 18 shots, a whole bunch of shots to get up. More than that, he went 0 for 3, or 0 for 8 from 3, rather. And so, man, 8 3-pointers, he's just like, I mean, Obi will hit some. So I guess he was just, you know what I mean? Rick Carlisle's probably telling him, man, just keep shooting until you make it. You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly what they did. So in this early NBA season, I guess I can say, man, I'm still turned off by all the threes. You know what I'm saying? I'm turned off by the excessive amount of 3-pointers that I'm seeing shot, because I'm just a fan of a term that we hear kicked around a lot these days is this high IQ, high basketball IQ. I'm a fan of high IQ basketball. And so, man, when you're up in a game, you know what I mean? Like or even when you're down in a game, like it's not the time to come down. I understand trying to catch up. So you're just like, yo, let's figure out a way to possibly get some threes up, because they'll catch us up to the lead faster. We still got to go on the other end and play defense, clearly. You know, but this same way we got here is the same way we're going to keep the lead mentality is crazy to me, because it's not high IQ basketball. We're up 8 points. It's 4 minutes to go in the game. Why the fuck are we coming out jacking threes early in the shot clock? That makes zero sense. Man, we're going to milk clock, and we're going to get into a perfect set that allows us to score the basketball. That's high IQ basketball. This excessive 3-point shooting is fucking crazy to me, but it is what it is, man. As people say.
It's the new NBA. Stop crying about it. Oh, geez.
Shut the fuck up. It's weird. Obi Toppin also had 5 rebounds, 3 assists in the game. Like I said, man, 20 points. Jarris Walker off the bench, man. Jarris played really good. Feels like his impact on the game was a lot more significant than the box score actually, tells. But in 30 minutes, he shot 6 of 11 from the field, 1 of 5 from 3, 4 boards, 4 assists, 13 points in the game. Man, this kid I like. I really like this kid, man. He would squander an opportunity cutting back door, and I believe the second overtime, or maybe the first overtime, to score a bucket, man, that may have been the separator in the game in terms of the deciding factor. But neither here nor there, man. Like the kid, you could tell, like he wasn't in his head about it, but you could tell he was pissed about it. You know what I mean? Like, I missed the opportunity to, you know what I mean? Like to help the team. So it was more like a kind of a disappointment from him that I sensed. But those moments for players, I don't know him personally, but I'm just saying I'm just going off of the aura of the basketball player, right? And what I observed, players like him, those situations right there, man, can catapult into a higher level of play. And so that's what I'm expecting that moment to have done for him. We'll have to obviously it remains to be seen. So we'll have to kind of sit back and wait to see how that plays out. But yeah, man, great game for him off the bench. Ben Shepherd, obviously, in 39 minutes, 5 of 11 from the field, 3 of 7 from 3, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 15 points in the game for Ben Shepherd. Ben Shepherd had a solid game, but man, he was getting fucking cooked out there. He was getting cooked out there, bro. He had 15 points, though, so great game overall, I guess, man, for Ben Shepherd, or decent game for Ben Shepherd. But I'm sure, man, even Ben will tell you, man, like, But it was he had a tough defensive outing, and it wasn't just because of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Let's talk about the Oklahoma City side of things. In this 141 to 135 victory for Oklahoma City, Isaiah Hartenstein in 37 minutes would only chip in 5 points, but he had 14 rebounds. That's notable. Clearly, man, that's what he does. You know what I mean? He's a space eater. He comes in and he, you know what I mean, like throws the body around. And yeah, it's a very tough guy in there on the interior for them, so that certainly helps. Chet Holmgren, very, very, you know what I mean? Like outing for Chet. 39 minutes, 4 of 12 shooting from the field, 0 of 6 from 3, 15 points, 12 rebounds, 2 assists. So he still ended with a double-double. You don't expect Chet to do what he did in game 1 on Tuesday, where, like I said, he came out, scored what looked like, I think, 17 of their first 19 points. He was cooking. You know what I'm saying? This game, not so much, but it's okay. That's how the law of averages work. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Aaron Wiggins, 23 points in the game in 36 minutes. 7 of 14 shooting from the field, 5 of 9 from 3, 9 rebounds for him as well. So 23 points, 9 rebounds for Aaron Wiggins. Lou Dort chipped in his 7 points as a starter. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was the man of the night in 45 minutes, shot 15 of 31 from the field, 2 of 7 from 3, 55 points. So that double nickel game for Shai was crazy to observe. 8 rebounds, 5 assists. Crazy to observe, I say, because, you know, it's super dope to watch a person like Shai operate. I still hate that the league allows him to push off so much. They allow him to push off excessively, bro. You know what I mean? When he's trying to get a shot and free up space. And so, man, if you can't, I mean, the shoulder, obviously, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? But the full extension of the arm, we used to be able to give an arm bar, but the instant you extend that elbow, it was immediately called an offensive foul going the other way. And Shai gets away with it so much, man. I fucking hate that. But it is what it is. Again, also crazy, I say, because Shai had an opportunity to close the game out in regulation with a shot, close the game out in the first overtime with a shot as well, that he blew. You know what I'm saying? So interested in that regard, but it almost seemed, that's why I teased in the intro that it almost seemed like, you know, the double overtime was on purpose. Maybe Shai wanted to pad his stats. I'm not accusing him of doing so. I'm just saying. AJ Mitchell, I wanted to point out the production from the bench. 26 points in this game for AJ Mitchell in 38 minutes off the bench, man. 9 of 19 from the field, 0 of 3 from 3, 3 rebounds, 4 assists. AJ Mitchell had 16 points in game 1 on Tuesday. So now that's a total of 42 points. This kid's averaging 21 points a game off the bench so far this year. Man, this is looking like a breakout year for him. Most improved player candidate already. You know what I mean? Like, if he keeps this up, clearly he'll be in the running for that award. But, man, just a great game overall. This kid, when I said that Ben Shepherd was getting cooked, he was getting cooked by AJ Mitchell. AJ Mitchell was out there balling, bro. This dude is so good. They have a gem in this second-year player, AJ Mitchell, man. So it's going to be very fun to watch him for the rest of the season do his thing. So getting into the full game stats here, man, for both teams. 43 of 95 Oklahoma City shot from the field, so 45.3 overall, 46 for 105. Indiana will get up 10 more shots in the game than Oklahoma City. They shot about 44% from the field. Both teams shot abysmal from 3. It's a total of 78 three-pointer shot in this game. 23 for 78 was the overall, you know what I mean, like totals for threes shot in this game, man, crazy. 28, almost 29% for Oklahoma City, 30% here thereabout for Indiana. And as far as free throws are concerned, 51 total free throws shot in this game, 91 total free throw shot between both teams. So Indiana will shoot 30 of 40 for 75%. 45 of 51 for Oklahoma City. They'd shoot 88.2% from the free throw line. Speaking of free throws, it was said in that Associated Press article that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has now, or in that game, this game that we're speaking about, he shot 23 of 26 from the free throw line. He has now shot 40 free throws over the first 2 games, the most free throws ever by any player in the history of the NBA over the course of 2 games to start the season. He's averaging 20 free throws a game so far. That's crazy. Moreover, with his 55 points, because he scored 35 on Tuesday, he's now scored a total of 90 points 90 total points in 2 games, which means he has an average right now over the 2 games that he's played so far this season, or so far as the season counts, the season ends today. He'll end the season with a 45 point per game average. 45 points per game. Holy shit, bro. It's crazy. So the teams are about even in rebounding. The disparity, you know what I mean, was not really that large. Just a 5 rebound difference for Oklahoma City over Indy, 60-55. Moving through the rest of the stats here. 17 assists in the game for Oklahoma City, 21 in the game. So relative steals, 2 more blocks for Indiana. Turnovers equal 14-14. Fast break points, 10 more fast break points for Indiana. But if you know anything about Indiana and controlling pace, that's what they do. They like to get out and control pace in the game and run. And so 23 fast break points is not a surprise for them. 56 points in the paint. I guess that I guess kind of makes sense because Ben gets a lot of his points in the paint. So does Siakam. So that kind of makes sense. 37 fouls, and the biggest lead being 5 to 7 points. So again, man, that's that game. The game itself, like I said, man, was a really, really interesting game to watch. I'm happy to see a double overtime game again on Thursday night. So I'm happy that they provided that for us. So that was super dope, man. Like a really, really good game to watch. Oklahoma City now is 2-0 on the season, while Indiana finds himself in a 0-1 hole to begin. Keeping it moving to the second game, we saw the Denver Nuggets take on the Golden State Warriors. Golden State Warriors improved to 2-0 with a 137-131 victory over the Denver Nuggets. So similar, man, Associated Press article immediately followed this game. I'm going to share what the Associated Press had to say, but as you can see on screen, Stephen Curry's 42 points lift Warriors over Nuggets in thrilling 137-131 overtime win. It was a dramatic end to regulation with Gordon hitting a tie-breaking three-pointer with 25.7 seconds to play, only to watch Curry tie at 4.3 seconds later with a long 3 of his own. Nikola Jokic then missed a shot in the lane just before the buzzer, sending the game to overtime, where the Warriors took control. Jokic finished with 21 points, 13 rebounds, and 10 assists to join Oscar Robertson as the only players with 4 triple-doubles in season openers. The Nuggets were the last team in the NBA to take the court in the regular season and promptly became the first team in 6 years to fall behind by 10 or worse in the opener. They quickly responded with 12 straight points of their own and didn't trail again in the half. More of the article. Gordon made all 7 of his attempts from 3 in the first half, the most 3-pointers ever in the first half of a season opener to help Denver take a 70-61 lead at the break. Gordon matched Golden State's output from long range in the half on 16 fewer attempts. Up next, Nuggets host Phoenix on Saturday night. Warriors visit Portland on Friday night. And that's tonight. Again, that article, man, from the Associated Press. Moving along into the box score. Again, man, Golden State would handle business. We'll take a look at Denver's numbers as it stands. As mentioned in that article, in 41 minutes, Jokic made a triple-double, 21 points, 13 rebounds, 10 assists on 8 of 23 from the field, and 2 of 13 from 3. 2 of 13 from 3. It's not that he wasn't getting good looks. He was getting decent looks, and Jokic is normally not an excessive three-point shooter. So I was like, damn, it was kind of interesting to see him shooting so many, but he was getting good looks. They just wouldn't fall. But a bit excessive, of course. Jamal Murray in 40 minutes had a Jamal Murray-esque kind of a performance. 25 points, 10 assists, 3 rebounds in the game on 11 of 20 shooting, 1 of 4 from 3. And so he was doing Jamal Murray kind of things. The story of the night obviously was Aaron Gordon. Man, Aaron Gordon shined. He knocked down 7 threes in the first half, 7 of 7. He was getting them in rhythm. He was getting them in motion. He wasn't forcing anything. The offense was totally coming to him in the first half. It was crazy. It was amazing to watch. Aaron Gordon kind of turn the clock back and do his thing. So in 39 minutes, 50 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists on 17 of 21 shooting, 10 of 11 from 3. 10 threes in this game for Aaron Gordon out of 11 attempts. So he was 1 short of tying the Denver Nuggets franchise record of 11 set by J.R. Smith. So, yeah, just a great overall shooting game from him. 10 points off the bench for Tim Hardaway Jr. and 8 for Valanciunas. The thing that I liked about Golden State, or I'm sorry, about Denver tonight that I saw that I kind of highlighted in my preseason predictions episode, the premature preseason predictions, as I talked about the Valanciunas, pickup for the Denver Nuggets and how excited I was to see that. Cam Johnson didn't really have that good of a game. Bruce Brown didn't really have that good of a showing, you know what I mean, in his debut return. But it was good to see Denver, and maybe by and large to the 50-point production from Aaron Gordon. But it was good to see that Denver didn't really have a tail off too much when Jokic was on the bench. You know what I mean? But like I said, there was a bit of a seesaw battle in terms of the lead where, it was Denver who was up big when they finally, began to air this game because of the double overtime game in Oklahoma City. And then we watched Golden State battle back. And then, once Golden State got up, then we saw Denver take the lead again. And then we saw Golden State just pull off and take it. And that was sort of the end result before they tied it up, but they wouldn't allow Denver to take the lead again there at the end of the game. They just sort of handled business. So speaking of Golden State, handling business, 21 points in the game for Jimmy Butler in 39 minutes of play, 6 of 15 from the field, 2 of 4 from 3, 5 boards, 6 assists. So Jimmy was Jimmy tonight. No 30-point performance, but certainly a Jimmy Butler kind of a game. Draymond Green, 13 points in the game, 13, 8, and 8 in 34 minutes, 5 of 8 from the field, 2 of 5 from 3. Jonathan Kuminga, my guy, Jonathan Kuminga in 36 minutes, 6 of 11 from the field, 1 of 4 from 3, 5 boards, 3 assists, 14 points. So he had a solid outing. I think that is what you can expect from Jonathan Kuminga for the rest of the season. Those nights that he gives you 20, 22, 23 points or what have you, we know that he's capable for going off for like 30, 40 even with his athleticism and his skill set. But you're not expecting Jonathan Kuminga to be that fiery as an offensive player. But whatever he can offer, as long as it's consistent and it's consistently somewhere in this range, I'm thinking between 15 to 17 points this season is a very solid number as far as expectation from a Jonathan Kuminga, man. So hopefully, you know what I mean, he can keep that up. I am a Jonathan Kuminga fan. I'm flying his brother's flag, man, and hoping for the best in his career. 11 points for Pods. Brandon Podziemski in 34 minutes, 11 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist on 4 of 9 shooting from the field, 2 of 6 from 3. Of course, Golden State's going to, man, they're the original. They're the Dandada, the original Dandada. They're going to shoot some threes, man. They're definitely going to do it. It's their fault. They broke the ecosystem of the NBA. So I expect nothing less from them, man, to get a whole bunch of them up. Steph Curry certainly will get up 12 in this game, 6 of 12 from 3 in 37 minutes, 14 of 25 overall from the field, 42 points, 6 boards, 7 assists. What I think is the most remarkable about Steph Curry's 42 points in this game, again, if you watched it, you saw it. If you did not watch it, let me tell you what happened. Steph opened the game, they say, because I didn't see it, with a 3. And then he only had 7 points in the first half, so he would not hit another 3 until third quarter, late at some point. He scored the bulk of his points in the fourth quarter, like to close out the game. Man, Steph went on a tear. This dude was on fucking fire, bro. And so it was amazing to see him finally hit a stride, as we know that Steph Curry will do. Steph's like the only player in the history of basketball. I don't care where I've watched basketball, whether it's the NBA, college, on the blacktop, you know what I mean? Like wherever it is. Steph's the only player in the history of me watching the sport who I feel like every time he shoots the ball is going in. I don't know about you guys, but I'm always like, man, Steph about to make this. Al Horford will chip in 13 points off the bench. Buddy Hield, 11 off the bench, so a little consistency from Buddy Hield. I want to talk about Will Richard off the bench, man, this rookie Will Richard. Will Richard, it was said, was drafted in the second round this past draft, pick number 56. That means he was drafted a pick later than Bronny, but this kid played 4 years. He played 4 years at Florida, I believe it was. 4 years of college basketball. So I don't bring that up to shit on Bronny. I bring it up to say, as an example, man, let's normalize rewarding guys who get it done in college, bro. The second round used to be reserved for guys like Will Richard, who had put in work in college, but maybe for whatever reason have flown under the radar. Their draft stock had dropped a little. You know what I'm saying? So it's good. It was good to see him shine out there. I think they found a winner. Steve Kerr obviously has a lot of confidence in this kid because he was in the game at some pivotal, very critical moments to do his thing. Digging into the team stats for both: 51 of 95 from the field for Denver, 53.7. Let's just call it 54% shooting from the field. So they shot remarkably in the game, 54%. 50 of 99 for Golden State, who'd shoot basically 51%, 50 and a half. 16 of 40 from three. That's the problem. 16 of 40 from three. 18 of 47 for Golden State. So Golden State actually shot or made 2 more threes, but took 7 more for 38%. The free throw disparity is 6 in terms of makes, but 9 in terms of attempts. 13 of 14 from the free throw line for Denver, 19 of 25 for Golden State. So you count that, that's 9 plus 6, that's 15. That's the difference in the game. You know what I'm saying? I say 9 or 6 rather. 6 plus, 6 plus, well, 6 is 12. So that would actually be, the difference in the game will be the 2 more or additional made threes and then the 6 additional free throws made. Equal in terms of rebounding. Moving through the rest of the stats. Assist totals are about the same. Steals, Golden State edged them out slightly. So nothing really to rave about there. Turnovers, 13 turnovers in the game. That's a part of that story. The few, 6 additional free throws, 2 additional threes made, 12 points, like I said, and then 13 points off turnovers, or 13 turnovers, rather, 16 points off of turnovers for Denver, even though Denver outscored the Golden State Warriors by 5 in points off turnovers. So again, subtract 5 from that 12. Now you're talking 7. Tell you, man, look, and they lost by 6. That's the story of the game right there. Points in the paint were about equal. Fouls, more fouls. Large lead in the game was 14 for Denver, 10 in the game for Golden State. So again, man, overall, just an incredible game. I just wanted to highlight that, to go through the happenings in the association last night. The only 2 games on the bill. Incredible basketball so far. Moving on to the third portion of the game plan. And so I just want to get into a bit of NBA news with his triple-double tonight. Nikola Jokic has tied Oscar Robertson for the most career triple-doubles in a regular season opener with 4. Players with multiple triple-doubles in regular season openers: Nikola Jokic 4, Oscar Robertson 4, Magic Johnson 2, and I believe that's Jason Kidd with 2. And so just wanted to highlight that again, man. It's NBA news, stuff that's noteworthy. Obviously, the FBI and Cash Patel is still fucking with the NBA about the sports gambling, but we covered that yesterday, man. So I won't go ham about that. That's about it, man. I'm gonna move into the fourth portion of the game plan, and I'm gonna get out of here, man. Just my final word: the NBA is back. You know what I mean? I'm excited about the product that I've seen presented so far. Obviously, we know what ESPN does in terms of their presentation. What I would wish to see is that every one of the network partners would adopt the idea of showing us the starting lineups again and getting that, you know what I mean, that bit of hype for the start of the game, instead of just being like, and the starting lineups are going to be, and then running, giving us a graphic on screen and just telling us who's going to start while guys are just like tapping hands and then the ball's jumped up. Like build the anticipation for the game, and all that pomp is important for, the fan, from the fan perspective. I'm speaking from a fan's perspective. Like, that gets me excited about watching the game, not just like as soon as I turn the TV on, it's just guys high-fiving and getting ready for the jump ball. For me as a fan, I would feel like, with that as an element added in, if I miss the starting lineups, I'm mad. You know what I'm saying? So when NBC went away, it's when the starting lineups just sort of went away. And so I wish for that to come back. Was happy to see it on Tuesday in the NBC broadcast, but I wish that all the partners would adopt it. Let's see what Amazon has to offer tonight. Hopefully, you know what I mean, they bring something magical to the table, because it doesn't even have to be the old stuff. Just bring, you know what I mean, bring some new and some freshness that we can get behind and we can embrace. But yeah, man, the NBA has been exciting to watch. Obviously, the narratives building are going to be Shea as a free throw merchant still. The excessive 3-point calling is crazy. You know, whereas most what may feel like the game is unwatchable, I haven't gotten a sense that the game has not been unwatchable. I haven't been bored by the games as of yet. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully, man, that's a long way, you know, down the line, and it will only be specific and predicated on who's matched up. But overall, I just feel like what I've witnessed so far to start the season, man, has been remarkable. The seemingly longest of my lifetime off season was worth the wait. The NBA is back, baby. I'm excited. I'm happy about being able to get more NBA content up for you guys. I will hopefully be able to get some content up this weekend as we recap the games and the happenings around the association tonight. And that has been the basis of this episode. Like the video once again, subscribe to the channel if you haven't. I will catch you guys in the next episode. Take care of yourselves. Until then, blessings.